What's up everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial of Godzilla Evolved today. This is directly from Godzilla Gxk, who is the effects agent for this movie. So he released these cool images of Godzilla, his design. So, landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause, we go too fast. We're going for like more of the full body, down to like the knees. He didn't include the feet. Let's do that. So head is real small up here, right? So the center of my page is here. Head is up over in the right hand side, like right in here. So I'll have to zoom in. And then we're going to go. So, frown, head turned 3/4. So we go just this big frowning sort of Godzilla eyebrow. And this can be sort of bumpy as we get up, because this joins like a layer of spikes that goes the whole way down his, well, nearly the whole way down his back, right? So it can be wrinkly. And this version of Godzilla, there is spikes like all along here. Okay. And like wrinkly and stuff. And these spikes will start to get quite big going down this way, right? We'll just get the head in first before we do all those spiky things. So the other side, so we got like a snout line. So he's got like a line just coming across the top of his nose there. And then another frowning eye section. So we'll go to here, right? This again goes up. It's got like all these spikes and stuff that will go around the back of his head, right? So it's like, it gets all spiky coming along here. And this goes all the way around like the back of his head, okay? We'll just start like that, just to get us going. And there's like a layer of spikes up the front of his head. Now if you want like wrinkles and stuff on all this, you know, texture lines, bumps and stuff, dots, will help. So then his snout, right? So he's got this square sort of a snout, Godzilla does. Going that way, relatively square. And then a bumpy line for where his teeth are going to go. And then this goes up that way. So the snout again has a nostril coming down here, and then a nostril on this side. And then it has sort of a wrinkly sort of side that eventually will join his like cheek and all this. Right, so his eye is like in underneath here, so like a typical sort of eye shape. Very small eyes on Godzilla, and then like a thin sort of pupil just there like that. And then we'll have some like eyelid lines and wrinkles and bags and stuff underneath his eyes. There's usually like 3 or 4 big bags underneath, right, kind of like that. And in this version of Godzilla, the evolved version, these get kind of spiky a little bit, like coming up the back of his head. Right, there's like all wrinkles and textures and stuff on all these. And these spikes will eventually go down his back, right? So this is like kind of a rough guide for his head shape. And then the spikes start to go this way. They'll go down his neck, kind of like this one as well. And his head will be just like in here. So his bottom jaw, right? Again, this has like loads of spikes sticking out of it here as well. More than the other Godzilla we're used to drawing. There's a couple of spikes on his chin even. So this just comes down around. And then we go up. Just underneath his snout, right? And it kind of, you've got like his chin line, right? But then his jaw goes out around his eye over here. So we gotta like spike it a bit. Because there's loads of these spikes on Godzilla Evolved now. Right, so his spiky sort of cheek sticks out here. And comes around and joins the sort of top of the head. There's these sort of zigzag lines. And then there's like a spiky cheek coming down like another layer. Joins in here. And then like another bag around the eye. Like this kind of a thing, but just kind of smaller. With some wrinkles on it and stuff like that. Like his cheek or something here. And then his eyeball, real small, right? So it's just like underneath in here somewhere. Maybe like just his pupil just kind of in there. Smaller now, kind of than the other side nearly, because it's turned away from us. Teeth then. Does he have bigger teeth this time? He could. He or she, not sure. Spike teeth. So Godzilla tends to have like tiny teeth and then bigger ones. So like big ones mixed with small ones. Just coming across here. And then we have that sort of other gum line or lip line coming down here. And then goes back up the other side. And then they have that skin sort of thing that separates the jaws, and then textures on the chin, and then just some like spikes for teeth here. Bottom teeth can be quite small, like so. And then the tongue. In there, like the back of the mouth. It's all pink and stuff in here. Like so, and we put some spikes coming off his chin and some textures on the skin there as well. Now, so top of Godzilla's head. So we go sort of back this way, right? We can line up the middle, and there's all spikes back there. And like so, the head skull, I'd say, should be here somewhere. This is like the skull line, and we're going to add like a row of spikes up the middle, just like a zigzag line, just going that way. And this will eventually like join the larger spikes on the back. We got some sticking off here as well. Okay, textures. Okay, Godzilla's head, not bad. Now, what do we do now, lads? So we're gonna go down the neck, right? We'll get the main body shape in. Neckline going that way. And his back has like all those dorsal fins like going down this way, right? So it kind of gets real bumpy and wavy. Like there's like the gray of his skin, and then there's all these dorsal fins that stick out that way, right? So say, take it like that, that's like sort of the line for the spine. So I'll just do a rough one, right? So going down here, quite big, right? And the neck has all these spikes on it too. So say like the inside of the neck and shoulder. So we'll go, so like shoulder here, like neck there, and then three, so coming from here, like there's neck, there's a line with all spikes, right? And then this one goes this way, and I'll add the spikes all together. That one goes that way. There might be another little row there somewhere, and then that's all dorsal fin stuff, right? This is just the general shape now. So his shoulder is in here, like ball and socket joint, tricep that way, bicep like in there. Just doing it lightly at first, right? Just sketching it in. Elbow, forearm down to his wrist, and his claw will be here somewhere, right? So the other shoulder, kind of like hunched over sort of situation here, and then like the chest and body goes down behind the arm, sort of up under here. Okay, so then long body going that way, and then loads of spikes and fins. So we'll go down tricep again. See, like there's a little bump for shoulder there. And then this is bicep. And then elbow. And then forearm. Down to claws. So the rest of the back, so just like a sketch it down. Just going bumpy sort of texture down, all down that way. And then we got like a big leg, like a thigh, like real crazy big here. And then like the tail going off that way. Right, so claw sort of hanging down here, then the belly goes up and kind of down behind the leg and joins the tail off that way. Okay. We should see another leg here. So we'll go, probably comes down from the thigh somewhere there, and then the front of it sort of there. Okay, but we got a hand sort of blocking that. You could join that into there and then erase it if you want to draw the hand first. But that's his general body shape, okay? And there's like some skin lines and stuff all here. So fingers, we'll just get them in. Page is moving, sorry. Let's see, so he's got 4. So we'll just go down to a spike, around like that. Next one. Like that. Kind of webbed. There's kind of spikes here. Okay. Spike there, right? So, oh, and we can see the thumb in behind. So, 4th finger in behind. Then on this side, we go spiking out that way, and the thumb sort of comes down here, joins the index finger. Usually, your thumb does. Right, and then we've fingers coming down here. Claws. Right. Details now. So, no easy way of doing this. Spikes, dorsal fin spikes, those pink ones. Let's go. Boom. We're going to start adding them, starting here. All these different shapes, right? the neck this way. And then another one in behind. So we just keep going and going and going. Start adding, they're like coral reef sort of shapes. There's like grey skin mixed with pink skin. And if he's charging up, of course, you would draw this glowing. And we'll eventually make everything as detailed as the face, okay? That's the goal. What one am I on? That one, then this big one, yeah, okay. And then there's like a layer of small ones and then big ones in behind. So I'll probably just do it that way actually. So yeah, so this joins his back skin. So there's all this wavy gray skin here. Be like a spine line, then another smaller one here, and I think they start to get a bit smaller as we go down, right? So we're going to start to see, it's that one, that one, that one. There's like little smaller ones in front, which is interesting. Well, it's interesting to me anyway. There's like another little small section of like spikes that go down his tail. So like little spike there, little spike there, and then like real small ones here. Boop. Right, so another sort of few little spikes coming down that way, and then this becomes like his tail textures, just all going down there. Okay, so dorsal fin section, then there's like big ones in behind this, right? So there's like another layer that we can see coming from the other side of his body, basically. So so it's fun drawn from this guy's models because he puts up high quality images and you can see everything. You can see every texture. It's so cool. They do such good work on these. Massive one now here. Probably the biggest one. Okay. Like some gray skin at the bottom of that. So these bad boys have like some texture lines on them as well, just like following each one. It's kind of like fire or something. It's got like these little coral reef type. It's like his skin has been burnt off, you know. It's just like exposed flesh. Is that what happened? For all the Godzilla Kong fans out there, why are these pink? Is it like he got irradiated or burnt or something? Okay, so more spikes on his body, gills, armor, go. So we're going to add all these layer of spikes here, right? And to make them 3D, you kind of put a line down the middle of them. So you just do like a little V like that, see? And then a line down the middle. So V, line down the middle, V, line down the middle, V, line down the middle. This is like the end of his neck there. But it kind of, we get more spikes coming down here as well. But we'll just keep doing this on these three first, right? So I did just a layer of zigzags, and then you just do like an extra line to make them look kind of like a pyramid. And then go again. Right, that's what we got so far. More spikes up there actually. Yeah. And we go this way. Add a few here. They're not as tight as the other side. Right, and then they're kind of like gills, right? So he's got like these, I know they're not gills, but they do glow pink when he's powering up. So there is like texture lines just coming across all this. Bada boom. And on his head and everything, dots and lines and stuff that just breaks it up. The skin doesn't make it look like pale and smooth. You want it to be looking sort of bumpy, right? And then he's got armor right on the front of his neck, basically like dragon style, you know. It's just like overlapping armor. And this is on his chest, right? It's like the belly of a turtle. I know it sounds weird, but that's what it looks like. And I think I remember looking at them designing it before, and that's what they used. So, the belly of a turtle. There you go now. And they do armor on this as well. So it's kind of like abs, right? So it's kind of like overlapping turtle shell abs. So which is something I never thought I'd say in a sentence in my life. There you go. Right, and this kind of has like some more sort of rib cage type things just underneath his arm here. Right, we can make these lines like a bit more solid now. Right, there's like, that's definitely where his arm is going to be anyway. We can just darken them up. Okay, front of his neck is definitely here then. And then there's like all more neck wrinkles and stuff all here. Textures on his chest. So like when you're adding textures on his skin, right, you're just like, it's like you're throwing a net, like a fishing net onto him, trying to catch Godzilla in a fishing net. But you just do crisscross sort of lines, right? Like say for example on the shoulder. So I will imagine like a net has been dropped and it curves across, following the shape, right? See, it's like a ball, so it curves. And then you go this way, horizontal and vertical. And it just gives the illusion of scales. Right, and I'll do that everywhere, but we'll just do his gills here. There, they gotta zoom in. They're not that visible, but they should be here. So I'll just do a little guideline. Right, and we'll go gills. and they're kind of like bumpy little things. They get kind of bigger as we go down. 4 of them, I think, is 4 or 5 would be enough. They have little sort of textures on them, like, you know, fish gills, if you've ever seen them. Right, now then texture on his neck skin here. And on the armor, I forgot the turtle armor has little textures on them as well. Okay, so moving down, he's got, oh yeah, he's got some spikes on his elbows, actually, some of those pink fins, right? Like kind of like fire there. And then we can just make these lines a little bit darker, just because we are happy with their position. These are their little spikes sticking off back there. Nice. So we'll just start adding textures now and spikes and all stuff. So he's got like big spikes coming down here. And they kind of just flatten out, I think, as we go down his belly. So that's like his back. And then another layer of them on the shoulder here. And then there's like textures just on here as well. Not as many bumps, but like this is like his spine and his rib cage and all that kind of thing, and his thigh here. So you just have, like you're casting a net, and like dots and stuff. Going down that way. And coming down here as well. Right, and so textures along his thigh here as well. So like, you know, bumpy skin lines. And then coming down. I just keep going, so I just keep adding textures all down his arm. Finish the fingers off a bit, and then textures going that way. Claws. And say the leg has like stuff on it here as well. All these wrinkles. And the shoulder. And textures. Ba-dum-bum-bum. So the texture thing is just like a repeating pattern over and over. He seems to have no scales on the palm of his hand, so we'll just do it on the green part on top. Well, green part, just on top here. None on the pale part on the underneath, if you know what I mean. None in there, and in there. It's just pale pink skin, looks like. But I think that's it, guys. I don't know what else to do. I think that's all of most of the full body of evolved Godzilla. Turned out, ooh, turned out all right. Turned out roo. Can't speak anymore. I've been drawing all day and recording, and I can't speak. So I'm going to stop and have my dinner. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I really have to stop. I said I was going to stop and I haven't stopped. Weird. I want to keep drawing. No, too tired. Bye-bye.